guys, so we're going to do a reading, and let me just fix you here, okay, and stuff, and obviously my neck's a little red. I'm kind of, I talked to you guys about it. If you saw me on YouTube, I'm kind of going through some little bit of a medical thing. Yeah, this is, apparently my lymph nodes are swelling, and I'm going through some stuff. So I actually thought about, I'm going to go on YouTube this morning. Maybe I should put makeup on it. But then I'm like, don't put makeup on. Are you crazy? You might make something worse here. So, but it's like I don't want to gross you guys out. I thought about putting on a turtleneck. I just don't have very many. But if I do that, I will get really hot and very uncomfortable and stuff. So my definitely I'm going through some kind of stuff. I did have an MRI on Friday. Friday night, I went to the hospital, had the MRI. It was already scheduled. The crazy thing is this just happened a few days, now 3 days ago, I guess is about. So at least I had the good enough sense about a month ago. Let's go to the doc. I want to get checked out. I wasn't like this at all, but I was having fatigue. I had a couple nodules in my neck. This was very, very small, very, very, very small. And it just, a couple days ago. So someone told me to go to the doctor. I'm not a medical medium. I'm not all good at that stuff. But I still have enough psychic sense with myself. Maybe it's time to go to the doctor. And you got to understand, I'm one of those people, I hate the doctor. I hate going to the doctor. I don't like bad news. I don't. But someone said, no, get up there. Go get looked at. Do whatever you got to do. And so I tried to, after the MRI at the hospital, I did that in the evening. Try to go into the ER, maybe have a doctor look at me. I don't know how, because it looks kind of infected, okay? And I sat there for 3 hours, guys, 3 hours. And then I finally walked up to the desk because I'm not trying to be a pest here. I understand. I try to be very respectful to the medical community. But I finally said, hey, I've been waiting for 3 hours. Do you know how much longer this is going to be? And you have to understand there was about 40 people in the ER. And she said, unfortunately, I cannot possibly give you a time. All the beds are full. I went home. It was about 11 something at night. I gave up. I'm like, there's no way I could be here until 10 o'clock in the morning. By the time anybody even gets a look at me, I can't possibly stay awake because especially with the fatigue I'm dealing with. So I just decided I'm just going to wait till Monday. My doctor has my MRI. He has the results. Go from there. But I'm going to definitely call him and say, you got to get me in today or something. You got to see me today. See if it humanly possible he can get me in, maybe for an emergency visit, whatever I got to do. So it's crazy, but man, and I kind of was like, it's COVID must be going on still. Okay, COVID must be still a problem. Okay, because that's just I've never been in the ER in my life. That I sat there for 3 hours and was not seen. It's never happened to me here. It's never happened. I don't live, this place is, it's still a good size, but it's not real big out here. It's not real big. And there's still other hospitals out here. Okay, this is not a very big populated place in comparison to other places. This is not Phoenix. This is not LA. Okay, so the fact that I'm 3 hours in and I still can't see someone is pretty absurd. Okay, but I know it's not their fault. I know it's not. There's probably some COVID. Better not be no monkeypox. I don't want monkeypox out here. By the way, check my video. I do have a little monkeypox video. I so pretty much came home in and out of sleep pretty much today. I did get one of my readings done that I needed to. I have one more to do this weekend. And very interesting. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say what case. Somebody actually emailed me or messaged me. It was sometime in the evening. I didn't even see the time, about one of my old missing person cases I did about a year ago, a video. Like I said, I can't say which one, I promise. And they asked me some questions and if I could help, with some stuff. They were kind of intrigued with a few things I said, and so I sent them a video on that. Kind of talked about some things and stuff. At first I was going to maybe do it later. I wasn't sure, but then when something sticks with you, like, I can't stop thinking about something, spirit, maybe get up, go look at it. And so I sent that. Then kind of rested, and then fell asleep. Then woke up and this pops on my YouTube. So I just want to kind of explain how I get here. I just kind of, and a couple of reasons I'm going to do this case. Now, this is not a missing, oh man, I just lost I was going to pull up an article because I got to clue you guys in a little bit. Some of you may know the case, some of you may not. I did not know of this case yet. A lot of times the way cases pop up in my world is kind of unusual. Like, I don't seek out all this stuff, you know. Sometimes somebody may bring something to me or this, or sometimes something just pops up, you know, and gets me to look at it. It just, you never know how it happens. But let me take a cup of coffee. I just want to perk up a little bit here. So I'm kind of sitting there, and I probably need to take a little bit of my mind off my health stuff. Okay. I watched 2 YouTubes on this, so just a couple of YouTubes. I just wanted to, you know, at first I saw the, whoa, I want to know what's going on with that. I'm interested. I didn't necessarily plan on reading it, but now I want to. Now I want to. Okay. But I watched a couple YouTubes with some just, you know, basic kind of creators, you know, that seem, you know, very good, you know, give us some good facts, and wanted to give a little bit of theory, and everything, and I don't necessarily deal with all whole theory. I just get tarot to do the talking, and where it all lead, if I'm going to actually or keep it kind of open, I never know where I'm going to go with it, you know, how far spirit will let me go. It just kind of depends. But okay, so let me pull up the case and let's talk about it. Okay, so hold on. Okay. Jared Microsoft murdered case. Let me get this. Okay, so his name is Jared Bridegan. Bridegan or Bridegan. Hopefully it's one or the other way. Okay. I think it's Bridegan though. He is a Microsoft executive. He was Mormon, so he comes, a lot of the people in this story originate from Utah. Okay. And he's murdered, you know, I believe it was in February. We're going to pull it up. We're going to look at it. And it's a very mysterious case. Well, it is mysterious, but I have a feeling it might not be that mysterious. Okay, maybe. There is some mystery. Yeah, there is. But this is what gets me. And after kind of watching, and what got my attention, and was like, I want to sit and I want to know what's going on. And I'm gonna show you why, if you don't know this case. What really got my gander with any murder case, of course, is horrible. Missing, I how I feel about that, right? For anybody who kind of watched that, let me just go it out. But there's a twist in here that is very upsetting. Okay, so this is the mystery. This is from the Daily Beast. The mystery behind the brazen execution of a Microsoft boss. Okay, let's not put, I don't know if I want to read this article. Do I like the tone of this? Okay, so let's just go ahead and read it. I picked it. What the hell? The last time Kirsten Bridegan heard from her husband Jared, the 33-year-old Microsoft executive, was doing what she said he loved most, being a dad. Now, apparently, this is a very involved. Jared Bridegan is a very involved father. From what I kind of see, he has, children from a prior marriage as well as his current marriage. Okay, he's a fairly young man, 33 at the time. He would have been 34 now because there was a birthday. Maybe we'll talk about that. We'll see. But he's a pretty devoted dad. And he is in Florida. After dropping off his twins, the twins were from the prior marriage, at his ex-wife's house near Jacksonville Beach, Florida, Jared called Kirsten from the car while driving home with their 2-year-old daughter. So he had the twins out for a day. Apparently this was called a date night. They would have this kind of, maybe there would be, they call them little date nights between him and the ex, like maybe go pick up kids, hang out with them and things like that. So he's driving home with the 2-year-old in the car. This is what upsets me. Okay. The 2-year-old daughter, Bexley, in the back seat. During the brief call in February, so he calls Kirsten, on the way home. He takes a route he always goes. And so he's heading, I believe, south, to his home. So Bridegan sounded happy, recounting the good night he had with the 3 of his 4 children for the bi-weekly, there it is, date night, Kirsten said. This is what they call it. And as she says, I was on the phone with one of my brothers, and Jared called, and while we were talking, Kirsten Bridegan told the Daily Beast, so I added him to the call, I guess, and the 3 of us were chatting for a minute, and then my brother dropped off so I could just be talking to Jared and Bexley, the child, the 2-year-old, who told me, Mom, I got an ice cream. The mother of 2 who stayed at home that night with their 7-month-old daughter, so they've got some little kids here. This is his new, he's been married for a few years, but, his second marriage and some little children. I said her husband ended with a short conversation with a promise, "I'm almost home, see you soon." Okay, and my cat's about to cough up a fur ball. I'm so sorry. Okay, so, oh, here we go. Now, I know that within a few minutes, he was killed, Kirsten said. The next time somebody answered Jared's phone, it was a police officer who told me to come to Jacksonville Police Department. So this is very sad. So here we go. Authorities say that as Bridegan was on his way back home to St. Augustine, so I believe and this is on February 16th, so this happened February 16th, I believe he's heading south, if I'm correct. He came upon a tire in the middle of a road. Now, one of the things we want to understand, and it's probably, I feel the majority of any kind of super sleuth can kind of assess. This way he kind of goes, it's like apparently a one-way street. People know, we definitely know there are those who know he's on his way home. Okay, and stuff. Now, the way this route is, there's a whole lot, like say maybe you got some residential, you got some business, you got cams. A lot of people have doorbell cams nowadays, right? But this little bit of area, this little stretch that he's on is kind of a wooded, so there's no cameras necessarily there. Okay, so this feels, okay, there's this big old tire on that one-way street apparently. And so we're going to probably reasonably assume that this is what happens because he did put his flashers lights on. Probably see there's something in the way of the road. And a lot of times, people see that one, maybe you could drive around and all that, but then you might be like, this could cause an accident. Let me just get out real quick, get this out of the way and keep going. Okay, that's what, and that's what a good guy would do. I don't want somebody getting in an accident. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, and stuff like that. That's when apparently somewhere in there, he was shot and he was killed. Okay, child left in the car. Thank God the child is okay. Okay, so there is a witness, and it is the child. So that is authorities say that as Bridegan was on his way back home to St. Augustine, he came upon a tire in the middle of the road in a quiet residential neighborhood. So but this little area, there's no camera aiming at it. Okay, as he apparently tried to move the obstacle, the senior design manager was shot multiple times in what cops called a targeted killing that wrecked a promising young family. And that's most likely why they believe this is a setup. There just happens to be a tire, and this is a reason to get out of the car. Okay, so they're pretty sure that this is, something like that. Bridegan's toddler was still strapped into her car seat in the Volkswagen Atlas when a passerby, and apparently they came across pretty quickly. They weren't in there very long. In the Volkswagen Atlas, I'm about to lose my voice, when a passerby came upon the grisly scene about 3 minutes later. Police say the car's emergency lights were flashing when the officers arrived, and the tire remained in the middle of the road, so he never even got a chance to move it. He didn't even get that far. So maybe somebody pops out of the woods or something. Okay, and let's see here, where Bridget was lying next to his open driver's car. And then there was even a little quote here, and I believe this might be the mother. Brexley has frequently asked about what happened and has even repeatedly said, "Boom, boom, boom, daddy on the ground." A little 2-year-old. So thanks in part to Bridegan be able to sort of man the one friend described in the Daily Beast, the last person to have any enemies, authorities said, have yet to make any arrests. He's supposed to be a pretty good guy, doesn't really have enemies totally. Okay, there's kind of thing here. So I don't want to go through. Well, let's still read it. I do want to get to the read, but I still want to update you there. But still, you could kind of sit there and watch any kind of things if you get curious and would like to know about the case. But a spokesman for the Jacksonville Beach Police Department declined to comment on the details of the still active investigation. So some, I know they're trying to build a case. But they did note, and this has been on flyers that are being put all over, that investigators are looking for information about a dark-colored 2004 to 2008 Ford F-150 pickup truck. There is some cam in very little spots, areas of this truck that they're kind of wondering is behind. Oh, and my phone's about to die. Good. Okay, that's great. Okay. Except so, hopefully I can finish the story to get to this read. Meanwhile, the mysterious case has pulled back the curtain of Bridegan, a Mormon whose contentious previous marriage and bitter divorce was the mother of his two 9-year-old children. He has twins with this woman. Has served as fodder for gossip. Okay, so let me see if I can just kind of I'm gonna I'll let some of the extra stuff, if you guys want to do the reading, do that. But just kind of to assess, just kind of where we're at here. There apparently is a challenge in this divorce prior to this marriage. And I'm just gonna, because my phone's dying, and maybe it's meant to die because Spirit wants me to just go off the cuff here, which is totally fine. But the prior marriage, to his wife, I believe is Shanna, there's a few things there. So apparently, they kind of met through a mutual friend. This is, I believe, when everybody's in Utah and everything. And she kind of pursued him, went for him. He wasn't too sure about her, but eventually, they kind of say that, she finally got him to fall. Okay. Now, when I do this kind of assessment, I know a lot of people are like, this is a good guy. This is a good guy. Okay. And I'm not going to try, I want to be very careful because this is very sad what happened to him. But I just when I was just kind of tuning into some of the things, and maybe we'll see it in the tarot read, I just want to say, in some cases of divorce, sometimes it is one real bad guy and the good guy, and they're the victim, and it's horrible. And I've read cases for clients before in this situation where they may be dealing with somebody very narcissist and things like that. In this particular case with this divorce, and a lot of it has to do with custody of the kids, I don't necessarily get 100% bad guy, good guy story here. In a sense, I feel they're both a little, a little funky in the divorce. This is not smooth here, guys. So, I know, of course, they're gonna. He's a victim, and this is sad, and this should not have happened. But I know there a little bit of portrayals seem to be, obviously the ex-wife is, a lot of people, and that may be so, but he's not perfect. Okay, so let me kind of talk about that. Oh, my cat just knocked down something. Okay, oh, that chilled me. Okay, that's okay. I know, yeah. And I don't know if that's spirit agreeing or the spirit's going, be kind. I don't know. Okay, so that's okay. That scared me. Okay, so that's okay. This is what I want to say, and I want to be very careful. When there was the situation where they're going through a divorce, apparently she ended up having an affair. Okay, so in that sense, that's on her. Okay, there may have been a little bit of things. She started getting into fitness, personal training. He started putting on a little pounds. He's kind of getting a little soft, and she's all into fitness. And maybe there was a little funny thing about that, and just kind of changing. It looks like she may have been going through some changes, transformations on herself. Like she's kind of this, she's kind of in the Mormon church, things like that. She's kind of going through some various changes and transformations, and sometimes what happens, maybe fall in love, becomes attracted to someone else, things happen. Okay, so, but pretty much he finds out there's some emails in there, and he wants to save the marriage, but she's like, nope, I'm just done with you. Okay, she's just like, I don't love you, I want a divorce. Okay, so this is something, this is not her wanting to be in this marriage. Okay, but he was kind of still kind of wanting to work on it. There's twins, there's family. We could completely understand. This is kind of shocking, but he still apparently wanted to work on things. But she's like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't love you anymore. Now this is where I just want to throw a little bit of challenges and stuff, because if I'm going to give an honest feels here of a read, and like I said, I'm going to do tarot too, but just some of my feels. I have to kind of look at things, from a perspective, in the higher mind, if I possibly can. Her parents are apparently very wealthy. They have a business that generates about $100 million a year. They're sitting pretty. They're doing very well. They've got their own thing. And so she comes for money. And that was one of the things, even when she was kind of trying to woo him, she kind of wine dined him, apparently is a story. She comes for money. The family, even after they got married, they put them up in their home, spent about $800,000 on a home for them. Okay, so that is That's a good chunk of change. Okay, and at these times, these guys are broke. Okay, and basically in individually they're broke. Okay, I think he's kind of going in. He had gone to school and things, but then he's kind of trying to get jobs, whatever. And apparently the family even spotted him $100,000 to start a business. Very pretty kind family. If I'm just gonna kind of set that they've got money, they've got money. They bought him a house and everything. They got money. The reason why they apparently moved to later Connecticut, and that's where apparently a lot of things start going south, is because the one of the twins has some kind of a heart condition that certain things with sea level can't live. Apparently living in Utah was impossible because of something with sea level. So moved to Connecticut, kind of go through a thing there. Things are just kind of working out. And even the family spots, I believe they may have spotted him in another home, something like that. I don't know. But then he gets, hey, let's try Florida. This isn't working out. Let's give it a go. She first doesn't want to go, but then she goes. Family gets him a home in Florida. Okay, so the family even gave them an allowance in the beginning of this family of about $8,500 a month. Okay, so they're living on pretty much the family's dime. Okay, but he does, obviously he got into Microsoft, so he has a job and things like that. But prior the family, okay, somebody. So this is where I just want to kind of throw a couple things there. Like I said, I know he's passed. I want to be careful. I got cats knocking stuff over to spook me out. Okay, but I just want to throw in there when she says I'm kind of done. I just want a divorce. Okay, there's a problem here, because one of the things is he was kind of maybe wanting the house, and he was wanting alimony and various things that he didn't want to necessarily leave the house. So they kind of go through a period where they kind of live together. Okay, but and then there's all kind of weird things with baby monitors, and then he's and then he feels like she's trying to record. There's a lot of contention in this home. And then he even apparently sent something to his lawyer and stuff, unleash the hell. He pretty much, he was frustrated, okay, with things. So we've got a little stuff here, though. So I don't want, I'm trying to give a perspective so we can kind of understand some things. Like I said, I know this, I'm sure he's a good person, okay? But there's still a little, look at her side. This is her family's money. They bought the house. They did the majority of the funding. And then he's kind of saying, I want the house. I want alimony. I want, some stuff like that. We could see that maybe somebody could, I just want to be done with you. Let's, and stuff like that. So we got a source of problems, and it's not 100% one person or another person's fault. But there's still some things there that she's kind of funky too. Okay. So, and we'll get to that. So, but basically, they get the divorce. I'm not sure if he got alimony or not. I didn't necessarily see that in the court things, but they pretty much have 50-50 custody of these twins. And they both go on and marry other people. She ends up marrying one person, and I believe, oh man, I'm gonna have to pull this article. There is something with him, okay? Except, let me see. My phone's about to die, so I don't even know if I can get it. Okay, hold. No, let's just skip it. I want to try to read without knowing too much. She goes on and she marries someone. He goes on and he marries someone. Now, let me just give a little, like I said, I'm trying to give a little perspective, because a lot of times if we think, oh, he's perfect, good guy, we don't understand necessarily the other side. We got to understand the other side. A couple things in there is some of the custody thing. This is, he's married, she's married, right? And so when there apparently was some little battles where he wanted the twins, like say the twins to come over and his wife to be involved with the children, be able to see them and stuff like that. But for some reason, he was saying things that he did not want her husband involved with the twins. Okay, he kind of wanted maybe some kind of weird visitation. He doesn't want him in there at all, but he wants his new wife to be able to kind of be like a stepmother figure to these twins. That doesn't sound fair, right? Okay, so like I said, I'm just trying to give a little perspective. I'm not trying to demonize here either one or the other. I'm just trying to give a little other things here. So we can kind of see a little bit of frustration at the same time with certain things. Okay, so in the divorce, he doesn't want to leave the house. He doesn't want to get out. This is my parents bought this out. It wasn't even his money. But you know how things do. You divorce 50-50, that's kind of way. I don't know if they worked out a legality because the parents bought the property. I don't know if they kept only their name on it. I don't know how that works out. So I would think if I was a parent, I probably would keep it in my name and not let the kids have it in their name. That's just, I don't know how that went down, but that's just me. If I was a parent and I had all this money and I'm, but they seem like a pretty generous family. Okay. It seemed pretty generous. So hold on one sec. Okay. So apparently these two, Washana and Jared, they're back and forth. They're going to court a lot. They're going to court all the time, with various battles that have to do with certain custody and certain clashes. And I've seen this, and I've even read for clients with this, that, I even have a very good friend who I've done reads for, but she's a good friend who has two exes, that they're constantly going court. And sometimes this is the way that people try to have the upper hand and the control of the situation. They take the frustration. It's like, well, let's go to court. Is and obviously there's mediator involved in here and stuff like that. So this is a very frustrating and I feel it is just like, man, when people can't just get along, you got kids, stop this crap. It's very frustrating. Okay. So there's a few things. So that's a little bit, like I said, so I want you to kind of pick up the thing. Say you're this person and you've got this, your accent, and this is your family's money. And he's like, give me alimony. You won't get out of the house. And so she's got all these little baby monitors she's recording. It's kind of crazy and stuff. And then he's getting frustrated, unleash the hellhound, whatever he was saying, I just want to, so he's frustrated. Okay. They're both, just turning on each other. He's probably, well, she cheated on me and this. There's all kind of, there's a lot of tension. It's a very ugly scene. So we can kind of assess that there's something at the core here, probably why sadly this happens, right? We know this is something to look at here. Okay, this is something to look at, which is but I just wanted to put it for the record. Like I said, there could be, and just even look at stuff. He's a real sweet guy. He's a good father. I understand that. And so, but if we're going to, observe, realistically, let's look at, maybe he's not as perfect as maybe some people maybe put him out to be. I'm sure he's a good, loving husband to, his new wife. I understand that. And she's going to see it from that perspective because she said, oh, this lady is always taking us to court. But there's also, I just want to go look at a little something there. Okay? So just to understand, sometimes you got to look at both sides of a story. Even if I'm reading for a client sometimes, and of course I'm going to be on that. That's my client. I'm going to do what, give them the best, read this best for them. But, I still want, it's not always their ex-boyfriend or their boyfriend or husband is a bad guy. Sometimes there's a little something here that there's a little both. When you got a couple battle cards in there, you both fight. Okay, you both can't see eye to eye and stuff. What I call battle cards. I get that, what I translate, 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords comes up in a relationship where you shouldn't be together. That's battle. That's battle. You fight more than you love. Okay. And I may see a little of that. Okay. So just kind of assess some of that. And so a little bit where we're at, and with this situation. And then sadly, here we are. Okay. But let me kind of talk a little bit. There's a whole lot of court cases. So why there's no even go through all of that and stuff. But the final one apparently that they went to court over is this. And stuff. And let me take a sip. And this is a little petty. And I know, like I said, we got, that's why I want you guys to understand. We might not be we're 100% perfect here. And nobody deserves anything like this to happen. But if we're going to understand what's going on, the dynamic here, we got to kind of get the feels for kind of both sides here. That's what, that's what the reader kind of, and just what I'm kind of feeling, I'm kind of feeling, ooh, that could be maybe why someone's getting mad. Okay. So this is the last case. So let me take a sip here, if I understand correctly. The final case that they went to court, apparently there was some situation. Remember, we have one of the twins has some kind of medical disorder. This is part of the reason for a move. Some with sea level, there's some heart. But apparently there was a breathing machine involved. And now apparently Shauna has a breathing machine, but it's kind of a big clunky kind of guy. and they were going to go on a trip. And this is why I say this is kind of petty. This is kind of petty. And it's like, why do you waste the court's time with this fucking bullshit? Okay, I could see my frustration. She's got kind of a big clunky, breathing machine for the child. Okay, and so taking it on a trip is probably, maybe it's kind of heavy, things like that. He apparently has one too, but it's a little more portable. It's a little smaller. It's a little more convenient. So she simply asked, can I please borrow that machine to take on the trip for our child? And he apparently said no. And he didn't want to give it. He loaned it. Now, I know most of you would say, well, I mean, if I was the mother, father, and somebody, okay, I kind of understand they got kind of a clunky one, and they're just simply asking, can I borrow it? Of course you're going to give it back. It's for the child and stuff. And he apparently, he refused to do it. Take your own, you just this. So she kind of, the thing that there was for court was, one of the things is refusing, something, especially with the medical child, you're risking their life, you're doing this, that. She might have made it just a little more dramatic, because technically she does have something she could bring. But I do understand it's petty at the same time. So I've got a couple things. Should we maybe have gone to court and done all this? You have something, but that he is being petty, I'm not going to loan it. But this is for the child. So this whole thing is so contentious and ridiculous. How this squabble, and then you're going to waste court time and money, and pay lawyers over something so petty. I personally believe he should have just given it to her, And like I said, I'm not blaming. I said I'm not. But that's why I want you guys to understand. When I'm kind of observing, I know a lot of people are going to be like, this is a good guy, he's a good father. They see videos of him playing with the children, and he seems very loving, and I'm sure he's a good person. And he's probably just frustrated. These two are butting heads, and they're getting back at each other. Maybe they're just frustrated. They just, the way they are. I understand. Okay, but I could see that being petty. I'm sorry. I could see that being petty. This is for the child. She will return it. If something happens where she's refusing to give it, or being kind of, just, then go to court. Or you could do a little small claims or something. You could go on Judge Judy. She wouldn't give me back my breathing machine. I want my money. But just give it to her. It's petty. It's petty. So this is the way this dynamic in this relationship is. And that's this is one of the last cases. She kind of goes to court, hey, he's risking the child's life, and he's doing this, and he won't, and apparently there was some agreement he was to pay half or something, and, with the breathing machine. That's pretty much, from what we understand, that's the last court battle that they kind of had. Okay, so this is, like I said, and that's why, I really, if I'm going to understand any people or what's going on, I got to get in the head of both. I could kind of see, he got that sex wife, and she cheated, and if I look at the man, how men can kind of be, oh, my ex-wife's got this man, I don't want the man around my twins, maybe he doesn't trust him, maybe he doesn't like him, he's kind of sketchy, and apparently there is a little something with her new husband, that he got in a kerfuffle with somebody who's got a bunch of cats or feeding cats in the neighborhood. He said, hey, do something about the cats, they're bugging my dog, or I'm going to do something to the cats. And apparently he shot a cat with a BB gun. Maybe that's why he's kind of, I don't want this guy near my kids. Okay, but at the same time, it's a little different situation. This is an animal. He's, it's ugly, but sometimes people do this, they're kind of weird. And this person apparently is military and stuff. So he's military. Okay, here we go. All right. So now we know this thing has happened. Now let's kind of talk about a little after, and then we're going to get to that read and stuff. And you can see why, I kind of sat there with this case, and I'm just like, oh man. But because, like I said, the upsetting, no matter, is there was a child in the car with this man, and clearly this was some kind of planned deal with this man. This is upsetting. This is upsetting. So a couple things after, apparently, the new wife did not want the ex-wife at the funeral, but she wanted the twins there. And apparently the ex-wife was like, well, you're not inviting me to the funeral, my twins aren't going. Okay, so there's a little kind of something with that. Apparently when there was vigils, the ex-wife and twins did not go. So some people were kind of looking at things like that. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on? That, why is she not going? But apparently there is, you know, it's a tough one. I know there's some contention in the relationship, and maybe she is kind of suspecting, when she's, I understand, but at the same time, this is an ex-husband. She should be allowed to come to the funeral. Okay, bring the children. You could come. So by saying I don't want you here, here we go. Okay, so, but the other thing, so we got a little bit of that there. Apparently, the ex-wife and their family on that side did a, what is it, celebration of life thing. This is getting a little bit of attention though. Apparently the celebration of life is they do that instead of, and they're not going to his funeral. So the celebration of life is kind of done at their place. I'm sure the family is the one who paid for it. It's a pretty extravagant celebration of life. There's a lot of people invited, a whole lot of food, a whole lot of, and I know a celebration, like maybe some people have, I want to celebrate their life. I understand that, but there's a lot of smiling faces and photos and grins, and it's kind of a weird thing. I can kind of understand that and stuff there. So I could see a little bit of perception, and some public perception is like, God, are they celebrating that he's gone? I understand. It's tough. So but we always want to be very careful with that. There, like, for instance, there is a case, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. Is it Dory? There is a case that I read. It's the woman who was on death row in Texas, and Dory. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Let me see. My phone's about to die. Let me see if I can pull her name up. I read this case years ago. I'll tell you real quick about it. Let me see. Texas death row Dory murder. Like, Darlie Rudier. Thank you. I don't want to go. I won't tell this whole story. I would do a reading on it, but I've already read it. Maybe I'll do a YouTube on it one day and just see how the cards lay again. But Darlie Rudier is a very big case in Texas. I did end up reading it. There are people who believe that she murdered children. I believe one survives, and she's pretty severely wounded in this thing. She is on death row. There's a lot of people who believe that she did it, and I'm not one of them. I believe she's completely innocent, and I believe somebody did attack, and I don't know why they did it exactly, but I do believe somebody broke in, assaulted her and killed children and things like that. So, but the reason why a lot of people speculate and believe that Darlie Rudier is guilty is because apparently when I believe she was celebrating a birthday at the grave for one of the children, she was kind of doing a silly string and there were some smiles, but what the media neglected to cut is others, or did not show, is other scenes of her also crying and other things. But the way the media portrayed and showed this scene got a lot of people going, why is she laughing? Why is she doing silly string over this grave? And a lot of people, went and somehow they said she did it and got her on death row. When I did my reading, I do not believe she did it. Everything comes up innocent, innocent, innocent. Okay, I was even so compelled, felt her innocent, I actually wrote her a letter. I said, and I do believe one day she should be released with some new, because there is a fingerprint at that scene, and I do believe once they kind of get the fingerprint and there's some DNA there, that it will release her. But I know there's a little hush-hush thing. People don't like to admit they made a mistake. Okay? And stuff like that. So that's kind of a big thing. I'm making a point with this, telling you the story with this. Maybe one day I'll sit with it and do a read. Just see how the cards lay. But I've already, it's kind of hard because I already know what I feel. And I've already read it before. But I do believe she is completely innocent. Her jugular was cut very, very deep. Nobody who, and it's just, I still go, go by my card reading. But if you're going to kind of fake something, you're not going to do that. She had defense wounds all over her. She should not have been put in jail. Okay, nobody's going to they had to save her life. Okay, nobody could cut their own neck like that. I'm sorry, I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't do it. You're gonna maybe just cut a little, most people when they fake something, just little, maybe a cut on a leg and an arm. She nearly took her jugular out. Are you kidding me? Stuff. No, no, she's innocent. Okay, so anyway, I just want to say there's this kind of scene, and they get this one little kind of angle, and everybody wants to say she did it. Okay, and so this celebration of life, I could, what if that's a little bit what's going on, right? They're kind of seeing this, and it looks like everybody's kind of celebrating, this dude's gone. Okay, but it could be that too. I do want to look at that. Okay, and so there's a lot of things here that I'm kind of feeling, but I've got a few things there. Like I said, I'm not totally out in the clear with this ex though, because there is something that's popped up that a few years ago, around this time, they're divorced and they have these custody cases. She's got to go through this transformation and things, and she apparently went to a tattoo artist to get a piercing in a very private area, which is fine. That's her business. Nothing wrong with that. And apparently she kind of, there was a tattoo artist who has made kind of a statement that she kind of was complaining about him. And she kind of said, I wish I could make him shut up. Do you know anybody can help me shut him up? Something, a little quote like that they did step forward and say something. Okay. And then we also got to look at the situation, obviously very contentious, battles, and we also have a family with money. So let's get to the read. Let's see what is going on. It's going to be kind of an interesting case. I kind of prepped you for it. Definitely go ahead. There's, some YouTubes. And I just watch a couple, basic, creators, that kind of got their kind of thing. They gave some good info. But there's a lot to sort through. So I definitely like to prep you with that one. And I haven't made up my mind yet, though. I have not made up my mind yet where I'm at here. Okay, I just want to kind of lay it there. Is this somebody, personal to the fam, or is this a hired thing? It's definitely a hit. Okay, we know that. We're not stupid. The tire is there and it gets out and all this stuff happens. Somebody obviously jumped out. Okay, let's go ahead and look at it. Check it out. Jumped out of something. And especially where it's at, where there's not a lot of cameras. This is somebody who's thought this out. And they know his route. They know what he's doing. Okay, so first, let's look at the crime deck. Let's see what's going on. Oh, it's just kind of, Spirit says only pull 2. Ooh, killer may, okay, hold on. Take a closer look at one of the suspects. But I also, no, I think I'm going to pull another. Killer may currently be in prison for another crime. So, well, it might not be, I feel there's a little bit more than one. I actually feel what it's saying. No, I don't think they're in prison. Hold on one second. Oh, yes, there we go. Premeditated murder. Killer planned in advance. Actually, what this, I feel what Spirit might be saying, I know it says they could be in jail, but I know that's not possible. Killer maybe, they might be trying to say has been in prison for another crime is what I kind of feel they're trying to say. Not trying to twist it. I just feel that's kind of my feel. But that is definitely, we got a premeditated card here, guys. Bam. We know that. That does. But it does say take a closer look at one of the suspects. We kind of took a little closer look at even the situation. But yeah, so I kind of feel this might be really saying, or this, a person, I mean, it's possible somebody maybe got arrested for something else, and maybe they got in a little kerfuffle with something. That's possible. I mean, recent, it's been a few months. That's possible. So yeah, let me leave that open. Now, it does say in the future the killer may admit the guilt. Maybe they get put in, and take a plea. Possible. Let's just, let me look at one more. Just says something about being out of the area. They might be out of the area, so that makes it, this is probably some hired people, guys. But we got the premeditated card, but I do kind of have a hired feel here. Okay, and if people got money, you can hire the best, okay? Let's just face it. But let's kind of see. Like I said, I don't want to, might be something other than family. It might be some, maybe, could be business deal gone wrong. There's so many other things it could be. Let's be open-minded. I'm not done yet. But premeditated, I am done on that one. Definitely. And we already kind of felt that. Okay, so we got a little bit of the vehicle here, right? 6 of Swords. Ooh, it's kind of bright here. Let me just fix you guys a little bit. Okay, So a couple things here at the bottom. Six of Swords, and I'm going to pull these cards because they're already showing, and the Three of Pentacles. Let's talk about it. We're going to pull those. Spirit wants those pulled. Six of Swords is a traveling card. It could be in a vehicle, but the Three of Pentacles is really important. This is handshake agreements, deals. Handshake agreements, deals. So yes, this is a contract for hire killing. Okay, definitely. And I already kind of felt that. All right, so that's at the bottom of the deck. We want to check out, we got the Devil, but we're going to shuffle that one in. We don't want to pull them out. Okay, so he's in his vehicle. They know his trip. I'm driving. Okay, I'm driving. Okay, that could represent I'm driving in a vehicle. And like I said, Three of Pentacles. Handshake agreements, deals. Contract, killing. This is somebody is hired. So somebody did not get their hands dirty that want him out of the way. We got that. I do notice that wealth card pops up in there. So we probably paid a little money. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. I always pay attention to the bottom when it's showing. Okay. But we're not done yet. Spirit kind of talks in all kinds of ways to me. Let's just do it. So this is definitely somebody for hire. So and that could be, maybe that's why. Maybe somebody is in jail for just a little something else. And maybe they'll get out. Yeah, maybe it's just a minor offense. You know, something. But also take a look at one of the suspects. We got some things there. But yeah, you saw that at the very top. Oh, death. Yeah, but I know we're dealing with that. Premeditated. This is contract. They were hired. These people were paid. Okay, so we got that. Handshake agreements, deals. But like I said, I haven't made up my mind. I haven't made my mind. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be open-minded. You know, maybe, you know, business or, you know, things like that. I know he works for Microsoft, but apparently, you know, does he have some kind of little business thing? Because apparently there had been some, you know, like the parents give money. He tries to start something, you know, maybe. I think there might have been a weird falling out with somebody with a business, but we'll see. Hold on. It's kind of hard, you know, point the finger, but it is what it is, right? Tarot does what it does. But it's not looking good, right? It's not looking good. Look at that strife card. That's what they do. Battle, battle, battle. But I just saw Eight of Swords. Somebody probably is going to go to jail. Okay. This is a tough one. But let's just some things I feel. Okay. Here we go. Cut the deck. Here we go. Let's see what we got there. Yep. Ace of Discs. Somebody's paid. Definitely a little bit of money there. Okay. So, you know, yep. Ruin, Ten of Swords, stabbed in the back, definitely. We got that Ten of Swords, which can be a murder. He's kind of left for dead, right? Shot, all that. Okay, very, very graphic and everything. Just ruin and stuff. But we got that Ace of Pentacles, you know, so yeah, money. Okay, and some money is involved in this. Somebody with a lot of money. Yes. Strife, yes. There we go. The battle, the constant battles. Here we go. We got the strife. So it's pretty much looking like something between this here. Now, I just want to kind of say something for the moment here. It does not mean necessarily, I'm not there yet, you know, that even, you know, the ex-wife, does she even know? Does she even know what's going on? Okay, I'm not, you never know. Keep an open mind. But strife and this battle. And then we got the moon kind of dealing with the unknown mystery. Of course, that's okay. We're going to keep going. Okay, so we got the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups makes me feel the new wife. You know, she's very sensitive, you know, emotional about this, and things like that and everything. You know, and we got the Princess of Wands. That actually makes me feel the daughter that was in the car. Princess can be very often a daughter. We've got that connected with her. The poor little 2-year-old. No matter what, this is horrible. Thank God that child is okay. Okay, so this is a very scary moment for anybody. This is horrible. And like I said, this is horrible. But we've got oppression. Okay, Ten of Wands and everything. We've got, and I feel this is really, you know, back and forth. But we've also got the worry card. We've got the Five of Pentacles. A lot, you know, just the fact that even somebody is out there and all this stuff, you know, going on. A lot of people worried about it. Absolutely. Let's see. Except, yep, the Lovers. There we go. We got the Lovers. We got a connection here. It's looking like something that's definitely connected to, and I'm going to say the ex. We've got the Lovers, we got strife, stuff like that. Battles, lovers, you know, and things like that. It's looking like it. We got oppression and stuff, you know, and maybe a little oppression on both sides. Like I said, and that's why, like I said, I just want to be open and real with you guys. I know, I know there's a lot, I'm sure he's a loving father and all this stuff, but there's pettiness on both sides. And that's why I just want to be very real. I know some people might be like, well, that's so mean you say that. I'm trying, if you want to understand the other side, you got to look at it from their view. Okay, they're both, like I said, it's not always 100%. No, he does not deserve this, though. Of course not. Of course not. This is horrible. Okay, defeat. We got the Five of Swords here. Okay, so this is a battle. This is a battle, and the battle has come to an end, and there is casualties. Okay, so they were at war. They were at war and stuff. Just like, even when in the beginning, when he sent that kind of letter with the lawyer, Alicia, he's defeated. This is the battle. Okay, and stuff, and defeated. Okay, so let's kind of go ahead and look, though. What do we got here? Who? How does this go down? Okay, so we got the Six of Pentacles, kind of looking at that. That can be the success card. Now, remember what I said. I've got this paying thing. When we see the Six of Pentacles card, we've got paying the beggars. Let me show you it in the Rider-Waite for those who are not too familiar with it. And this is what I'm kind of feeling. It's up. So this is obviously a successful hit. Okay, if I was going to look at a business transaction, which I know is very sad. I'm trying to be very sensitive, but I'm trying to explain what the tarot is trying to say on their end. Doesn't mean they're going to get away with it, though. Doesn't mean that. But I want you to kind of look at this. See that kind of person? They're very well dressed. They got some money, right? This is a rich person. Normally it is. Give a little money to the beggars. Give a little money. This kind of makes me feel we may have hired somebody who, definitely a professional hit, but these people may not, they might not have had to pay them very much money. It's still a good amount of money, but just maybe some street people, some kind of, thing like that. Because notice there is a little kind of chat with the tattoo artist. Say, you know anybody? So they're kind of looking for some down low people and stuff like that, okay? Just saying. So we got this pay, this giving the money, okay? So somebody got paid, period. All right, so let's go. All right, so I want to kind of focus on... So let's do it this way. In this kind of feelings, attitude, emotion, I want to focus on the person who is responsible for the actual... That's what I kind of want to look at. Okay, so we got the Princess of Swords. Could be about receiving news or information or communication. Some kind of communication kind of takes place there and stuff. Okay, so we got the Three of Cups. That can be a celebration card. Okay. And stuff. I got the Ace of Cups. Okay. Hold on one sec. And I think I'm kind of knowing where it's going. And then we got the Star. Light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. Kind of looking. But I do get Justice. Yeah, I still feel we paid someone. Some news is going to come out and everything. But I've got Ace of Cups, Three of Cups. Remember we talked about that celebration and stuff like that. Possibly a connection to the new husband. Maybe knew some people, possibly. Someone's going to jail. Eight of Swords. Good. Someone's going to jail. Yep. The one who would gain the most. Nine of Pentacles. Absolutely. That normally can very much be a woman. She's got all that abundance and everything around. Okay. Yeah, we got that Dominion, the Cross. Really just everybody was trying to get dominion over each other. The Chariot. Let's see what the outcome is. Completion. The case will be closed. This is kind of where I'm at. Kind of looking at everything and tuning in. And actually, let me just kind of focus on something. I feel pretty good about it. A decent amount of money was paid, but I actually feel it might be... So, yeah, we've got this kind of employment. This is somebody who's done this kind of stuff before, okay? Some kind of thing. Maybe they're kind of a little street stuff. Be patient during this time. Just so the cops are kind of doing their thing there and stuff like that. But, yeah, I kind of feel a few things here. I definitely feel someone's hired to do this. So nobody, has their hands dirty. Somebody is, and that vehicle... definitely, one of the things, the Chariot is popping up. I know they're looking at that truck. I actually feel they're going to solve it because I do got the Justice card that is popping up in there and stuff. But I definitely feel, a nice little amount of money, was paid to, take care of this. Okay, and I kind of feel, when I kind of tuned in there, kind of looking in there, it's kind of hard who exactly. I know who's the source of the cash, though. Okay, I know who the source of the cash is. Okay, definitely the fam has money. The fam has money. Okay, and stuff. So there could be a little bit of that and everything, but it's definitely coming on that side. Now, one of the things I do want to kind of look at, hold on. And then we got the lowest. Got some paid. I definitely feel there's a few things there. Kind of looking at this with the situation. Remember, we got that Three of Cups, which can represent a celebration. People are happy about this. Remember, we got that celebration life and kind of weird thing. We got that Ace of Cups and everything, but we got that star, the light at the end of the tunnel. Who is kind of the star, the scene of the whole thing? Except this feels kind of like a little bit of a family deal, to be honest. A little bit of a more than one nose in it is involved here. Okay, except this is not necessarily a one kind of deal there. Yeah, see we got that the moon, but we got that birch rod, the quarreling of husband and wife. Now I know they're divorced, but it's still the birch rod. It also can be divorced people. Birch rod brings strife to what should be bliss to husband and wife. All is gone amiss. Prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, begotten of quarrels that bring much dismay. Just quarrels. It's definitely related to obviously this. Except remember we talked about the house. Here comes the house. There's squabbles with that. The people have the power. The bottom of the house. This a lot of this started there. There's frustration and everything like that. The unopened book with stories concealed. When pages are read, the truth is revealed. The book guards tales of inner emotion. Blessed are the words of deep emotion. There may be some things even kind of written down and things like that. So it's whew, it feels a little bit. It feels a little bit it little family, a little everybody kind of. Okay, not necessarily, one person. Okay, here. So let me put it this way, and I try to be. This is just kind of my feel theory, kind of putting in there, and stuff like that. Just kind of what I'm kind of feeling, and stuff. Like I said, I've got contention on both sides, and I want to be very real with that. And I know it's very frustrating and very sad, and things like that. But I feel, definitely there is somebody got paid, but I kind of feel it might be some kind of low live street people kind of situation. It's a professional enough to kind of have this weird little setup here, but definitely they're these people were definitely nobody got their hands dirty. They have somebody else do it for sure. Handshake agreements, deals and stuff like that. One of the people could potentially, at this moment, be in jail for something else. That is a possibility there. I know the family is in despair. Absolutely, we could kind of see that main female. A lot of focus around this ex. Okay, absolutely. I kind of look at this as far as this high honor. Look at the battle. The battle. Really, I think it's just talking about the battle, constant battle, and stuff. And we know he was shot. We know he was shot and stuff. They've kind of definitely done their journey. We got see the changing hands, unexpected income. Somebody's getting paid. Definitely somebody got paid for this. 100%. And somebody has money to do it. And stuff. Somebody has money to do it. And stuff. We had, obviously this marriage and everything going on a lot with the marriage. And everything got, contentious. A lot of people have thoughts. I know. A lot of people have thoughts. But I've also got this kind of false person. Someone's being false here. Okay, someone's being false. We definitely got that. So I know she had an interview. She did have an interview. Okay, and stuff. So it looks like maybe there's some false things in there. And stuff. But I also got this mature man. This mature man kind of popping up in there. Could be somebody who's got a little money. Okay, so I actually kind of feel, and then we got the message of concern, and I'm just gonna pull one more, just kind of looking at that and everything like that. Yep, we got some challenges. So, I feel a little bit, this may be a little bit of a family matter. This may be a little bit of a family matter and stuff. I do feel somebody goes to jail, but what I kind of, this is kind of the challenge part and stuff, being able to trace it, maybe to like source. This is going to be hard. Who does the pay? Who does this? This is going to be the challenge. Okay, and stuff like that. But I definitely feel it's kind of, like I said, it feels a kind of a family matter in that situation. There's a little bit of, kind of a lot involved, which is kind of there. I feel there's a whole lot behind it. Okay, and stuff, because one of the things, they're kind of the source of the money and stuff, and things like that and everything. So like I said, I'm trying to examine perception. I'm trying to understand perception here, just my feel. Like I said, that last final thing, the weird thing with the breathing machine could have kind of spun some, now they're trying to risk my child's life kind of thing here. And that could have been like the straw that broke the camel's back, that, maybe they really feel fear that this guy is because remember, understand projections and perception. Maybe they really feel, does he want something to happen to my child? What the hell is going on? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying, like I said, trying to understand the other side, maybe. Okay, if we're going to understand, because we got to kind of understand what kicks this off. And that apparently is the last case that happened, and that's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal, and a lot of frustration. Then maybe we thought, wow, he's going so far. He won't even give me a breathing machine. This could risk my child's life, and he won't even help with that. How cold. Like I said, just kind of feel the other side. But it feels a little bigger, okay? But I do get the Eight of Swords. Like I said, I do definitely feel someone does go down for it. There's a little bit of a book there. That book, certain things concealed will be revealed. Okay, somehow, and what a book can be some kind of record, some kind of somehow exchange record, and things like that. It's definitely meant to come out. Let me go ahead and do another thing here. I'm very interested. Cat has to join. Cat has to join. Like I said, I knew this was going to be an intense case. Okay, so let me kind of look at something here. What I'm trying to do is to tune into the ex-wife spirit. It's just in the shadows. I'm happy it's over. It feels a little more than just happy it's over with the marriage. I'm happy it's over. Okay, she's happy. Just kind of look at some things here. But kind of like looking in there, I kind of feel, like I said, I definitely feel he wanted to kind of work, on some things here. Definitely in the past, we've got that. But I definitely, she's happy it's over and stuff like that and everything. There's definitely that kind of energy and stuff. But I would like to tune into something here. Hold on one second. Now I want to kind of feel the spirit. Just kind of... Because I still feel like this is somebody, he did, there's a couple things there. One, I feel his main reason, family. Remember, these are Mormon people, so they can be very family oriented. This is why, in the original, if I go back to that first marriage, trying to work it out, even though it cheated, this is something, don't want to split up family. But there's a little, comfort in the fact that, this is a very nice home and money and you're comfortable. There's a little bit of that why he didn't necessarily want to end it. Okay? Yeah. It's kind of... Okay. But yeah, once I feel definitely kind of tuned into that spirit, once he kind of, got to that point, found another marriage. Of course, he's good. He's good. So that's some heavy stuff, guys. That's a heavy duty read. I do feel someone goes to jail, but the tricky part, I feel it's going to open a can of worms, but I feel it's going back. Like I said, I feel this is a family affair, I guess is the best way I could kind of gently kind of put it. Okay, this feels like a family affair. This doesn't feel like just another, not like for instance, the new husband does it on his own. I'm not necessarily feeling, I actually don't feel anybody gets their hands dirty. I feel this is a hire. Too much handshake agreements, deals, unexpected income. You see dropping the coins in the hand. You saw the Six of Pentacles dropping the coins in the hand. Somebody is definitely paid for it. Hopefully somebody, actually let me just kind of tune in. One more thing and then I'm going to get going because this is kind of a long read. Would somebody, remember I said that confess? Let me just kind of, yeah, look at that surveillance. There's still some more surveillance cameras of the vehicle. Now, I almost forgot to say, apparently a few days after, sadly, this horrible thing happens, there was some things that the new wife, Kirsten, observed outside her home, that there was somebody walking in the area. She got that on camera, but she can't really see very good. Stuff. They did kind of show that, and that was spooky. There could be still some more things, cell records, okay? That could be actually family cell records, okay? I'm sure they're looking at, there's going to be something in there, guys. It's yeah, argument or fight is a strong factor, and that's what I'm feeling. I really feel that last case over that little breathing machine issue, I really feel this is the straw that broke the camel's back, okay? The way this all goes down, okay, we got that. Of course, important details are not being revealed at this time. There's more to come that is going to be, I feel it's going to be pretty shocking and stuff. Let's kind of go ahead and look at that. Yeah, there it is. It did pop up. Somebody's going to talk, I think, the second time. That's what I was curious. In the future, the killer may admit guilt. So this makes me feel something may happen where, the people who got paid, somebody, and it kind of makes me feel more than one. It doesn't, I just get this kind of visual image that maybe more than one could be paid here. So just something, there might be a couple, okay? There might be a couple involved in this. But anyway, but they could maybe, okay, I got paid, they want to less the deal, they're going to throw everybody under the bus. Okay? It does feel there could be a little something like that. Okay? And stuff. So very, very sad case. I'm just, no matter what, I'm so thankful the baby is okay. The child is okay. This is very sad, very unfortunate, and it's like the War of the Roses, man. And stuff. This just battle and everything. It's just it's so ugly and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why, like I said, just please don't beat up on me in comments. I'm sure he's a good person. Okay, things happen. But sometimes when people go to head to head like that, certain kind of things happen. It's not always a perfect good guy, bad guy thing. And if you don't be open and see it that way, you're not going to get the bigger picture. Because because when you kind of do that, then you kind of, okay, now I'm kind of understanding. Maybe I'm talking to my family and what's going on. We won't let me have the breathing machine, my baby. This is, all kind of stuff. Okay. Right. Let's see what's happened. Let's keep an eye on the news. And I think I'm gonna rest. I might have to take a nap again. I don't know. I might be going to breakfast with. I guess the boyfriend and I are kind of talking. I thought I was done, but we're kind of talking. So it was kind of weird. I was sitting at the hospital, just throwing real quick, and I'll get going. But I did make a comment about it. I was at the hospital. I hadn't heard from him. I thought I was going to hear from him. And for some reason, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send a little message. Hey, I'm in the hospital, this, that, whatever. And when I sent the text, all of a sudden these text messages come and send that he had meant to send, but somehow got stuck in the thing. And all of a sudden, whoop, here comes this stuff. I don't know. Spirit, I don't know what's going on. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.